Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Should be good now. Yeah. We are fine. Alright. Let's wait for people to come in here. Hopefully. Well, let's see. The IDF forces advances in Gaza continue along three main routes of attack, now pushing through built-up areas along the coast north of Gaza City. They're also entered Bayat Hanun from the northeast following intense clashes. The most notable movement is in the south of the city of Gaza, where the IDF has crossed the Salah al-Din road, which I was mentioning yesterday, and all progressing towards the coastline. They're trying to cut them off. Take a look at this right here. Take a look at that right there. 1 second. So, the road that is located, I believe, somewhere here, or if it's that road or that. Now, yesterday they were here. It means that in one day they pushed from here to out there to out there. They've taken back. This is all there. This is all right here. Israeli territory now. And this area right here, they're very close to the coast. I mean, it is open territory right there. Pretty much. I mean, also over here. Look at that. They've even pushed in and over there. I mean, I don't know how long we're talking about. Less than a kilometer of less, you know. However, I will say, it has taken costs. It is not cost less, okay? It is not cost less. It is not cost less at the moment here. It is still very extreme. And yeah. But let's get you the latest of when it comes to the Yemen howitzers.
Are you?
Well, okay, actually get to that in a second here. So check this out. This is... Think about these people right here. A lot of these people, when it comes to, you know, how they answer dictators, all that. Look at this. Watch how Hamas leaders change their answers every time they're asked about the crimes against humanity.
Are you really expecting us to believe that you have not killed civilians?
No, we don't have killed any civilians.
Do you accept now that your group murdered civilians on an horrendous scale?
You cannot prove that they were killed by Palestinians.
No, Dr. Naim.
And how did you feel when you watched that? Your own fighters, your own people doing that to innocent civilians. Were you ashamed?
No, I feel proud that our Palestinian people, for 75 years under Israeli occupation, did not surrender, did not raise the white flag, and still fighting Israel.
How do you justify killing people as they sleep, you know, families? How do you justify killing hundreds of people
I want to stop this.
Are you really expecting...
There you have it. Yeah, they change their answer every time. You know? And, yeah. Gosh, like they have the same answer every single time. They say they have the same answer. No, they don't. They don't have the goddamn same answer. What they have is different answers They're not agreed to what they want to say. And the second off, the second point of view, from my point of view, another Hamas leader, yeah. Welcome in, Witchy. And my point of view here is, yeah, my point of view is, when it suits them to say they killed civilians, they will say they killed civilians. When it doesn't suit them and the UN is on their side, they will say that they didn't. Point being, they don't really give a fuck. Here you have it. What do you think the Iron Dome system of Hamas is? That right there is the Iron Dome system of Hamas. Children. Body children. Look at that. That's some Gaza right there. Live Israel border Gaza. Flares are up. I hear jets. Putin. Oh, look at that. Did you see that? There's shells coming in right there. You saw that. I don't know if you saw that, but there's shells coming in right there. More footage from yesterday's meeting with Putin. Look at the face of his subordinates, especially Lavrov. So Putin was actually spotted yesterday, and I want to bring to you this right here. This was Putin yesterday. What I think, you know what I think? I think they're tired of his bullshit. Because all he's going to do, right, he's going to sit there, he's going to say, you have to do this, that, and that, and that. Meanwhile, I'm going to go on a vacation, have a good time. You know, he's going to give them impossible tasks, and they're not going to be able to do it. And then they're going to yell at that because he gave them impossible tasks to start with. You know? By the way, there is a point of view to make today. A point of view today. Welcome to the future. Three hundred thousand Russian soldiers killed in Ukraine. 300 Russian soldiers. You're tired of his BS, yeah. 300,000 soldiers. It doesn't get better than that. Meanwhile, in Ukraine, Ukraine is celebrating firework. The Ukrainian Air Force MiG-29 looks great in the sky. Just imagine how charming the F-16 will look up there. I can't wait. Oh, more shells coming in. It's still very active along the border here in Gaza. The IDF forces are very close to getting to the coast in the southern part. Breaking news. The US and Israel are exploring the possibility of a multinational force governing Gaza if Israel's forces succeed in ousting Hamas. People familiar with the matter, says Bloomberg. Would you look at that? Yeah. The United States of America and Israel is exploring the multinational force governing Gaza. Looks like democracy's coming to Gaza. Initial reports of U.S. aircraft being heard over Eastern Syria. Oh shit, look at this. Initial reports of U.S. combat aircraft being heard airborne over in Eastern Syria. Could be a show off. It could be nothing, but it is certainly something. That's one by the air defense. We don't know if it's true or not. Could be false. I mean, a lot of false news coming in. However, yeah. Keep an eye on it. The U.S. and Israeli forces... There's a little bit of a further add-on to what I read just a second ago here. The U.S. and Israeli forces have reportedly been discussing the future of the Gaza Strip following the end of the war and the deconstruction of Hamas, with some options suggesting a multinational peacekeeping force, including American and British troops, be installed to prevent further terrorist groups from coming to power in the Strip. I actually think it's a good idea. I do. I don't know how the people of Gaza is going to feel about it, but I think it'd be better than living, you know, especially because I think that if that was to happen, I could see the possibility of people from Gaza getting the chance to move, you know, across, and the money to rebuild Gaza would definitely be there, so that would be something, but yeah. The U.S. and Israel exploring the... Oh, sorry, that was the exact same thing. Iran warns Israel of its annihilation. If the war expands any further, we cannot say that Israel would lose because nothing will remain of Israel to be described as loser or winner. Wow. Iranian deputy foreign... Oh, look at that. More flares. There's still a lot of stuff happening in Gaza. You can see it. Iranian deputy foreign minister... Ali Bakhari Khani, Iranian proxy forces have targeted Israel's position, demanding a halt to Israel's action in Gaza. Experts believe that while there are concerns about conflict expanding, Iran's intervention would be costly. Yeah. The White House has admitted Hamas is holding nearly 500 Americans hostage in Gaza. It has been this Gaza for about 4 straight hours. Yeah. And the reason why, I'm not going to hide the factor here. I'm going to try and downplay it. There has been losses on the IDF side. The Israelis have lost some forces. And tanks. I'm not gonna hide that. That happens. It's war. But I think they're giving back right now. 500 Americans are trapped in Gaza. 500. What?
Everyone, Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan in the reserves.
Well, we'll watch this right here. We'll watch this right here because this man here is the IDF. This from directly from the Israel Defense Force. Let's watch this. This is an update on the situation in Gaza.
Hello, everyone. Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan in the reserves here. I want to give you a brief update about events in Jabalia. What we did a few hours ago was to strike a very important military target. The aim of that operation was to kill a senior Hamas commander. His name is Ibrahim Biari, and I'll show you here on the map the vicinity of where he was killed. Northern Gaza Strip, which is the main focus of our combat operations, the area of Jabalia, which is a known Hamas stronghold. And if we zoom into the specific area where Hamas was operating, we've provided the area here. Now, as you can see, many underground tunnel shafts and many Hamas localities in this specific vicinity in Jabalia. We know that Ibrahim Biari, a serious Hamas commander who has lots of Israeli blood on his hands, he was very important in planning and executing the attack on October the 7th. He has liters of Israeli blood on his hands. He was important in planning the attack on October the 7th. His track record of terrorism goes back all the way to 2004, when he masterminded an attack in Ashdod, in Israel, where 13 Israelis were killed. That's many years ago, almost 20 years ago. And as he was attacked, he was commanding Hamas operatives and military activities in Jabalia and in the northern part of Gaza City. That is why we delivered quite a lot of ordnance, and we struck the underground complex where he and many other terrorists were hiding. We can confirm that he has been killed, along with him dozens, still unconfirmed number, but dozens of Hamas combatants who were hiding in the vast tunnel complex that was underneath the Jabalia area. I can understand that there are reports of civilian casualties. They are still unconfirmed. We do not know yet from a verifiable source how many non-combatants have been killed, but I want to emphasize, we take every precaution in order to minimize collateral damage and the effect on civilians, and to strike the military targets that we are looking for. We are in a war that was forced upon us, that we didn't start, but that we are definitely going to end. It will end like Ibrahim Biari, with dead Hamas terrorists that will no longer be able to kill Israelis or to plan attacks against us. So Ibrahim Biari, with a long track record of terrorism, is now no longer. Many of his terrorists were killed together with him. We will continue to strike Hamas, its commanders, its operatives, its infrastructure, and everything that supports that in Gaza, in the north, and in other parts of Gaza. Our troops are on the ground, and they are doing their best to find the enemy, engage them, and do it as swiftly and as professionally as possible. Thank you.
Hoorah! Alright. Terrorists down. That motherfucker's gone. And he is not feeling too good. The fact is, he's feeling so bad that he's dead. A rocket attack has just been launched against U.S. troops at the Al Omar oil field in Eastern Syria. This is the second attack on the base in the last 5 hours. That was reported an hour ago by Owens Defender. An hour ago. Further attacks. Oh, look at that. The Russian portable anti-aircraft missile system Verba uses electronic components of Swiss origin. This was reported by military resource with reference to anonymous defense force specialist. Traco. Yeah. It's hard to say if it's supplied by Switzerland or if it's things that are left in Russia that was simply just stored before the war started. That is a possibility. You know, I mean, it is a possibility. However, the Swiss idea of, you know, this idea that they, you know, oh, we have to stay neutral. Yeah, it's a stupid thing. 'Cause you say you have to stay neutral, well then don't deliver things to the enemy. Because if you want to stay neutral, you deliver things to both sides. But they refuse to deliver to Ukraine. Well, they don't refuse. Oh, look at that. They don't refuse to do it, but they do deliver, appears to have been delivering more to Russia than they do with the Ukrainians, but I don't know. It's hard to really kind of thing it, you know. There was rocket attacks reported in Tel Aviv today, as rockets did rain down on positions in Tel Aviv. It appears that some rockets had made it through the dense air defense systems. They're gonna be real sorry real soon. They certainly are. Hoorah! You know the Marines are in the Middle East, right? I mean, the Marines are in the Middle East. You know, and the Marines, they aren't human. They're robots. Machines. Hoorah. Okay. Got the latest update from Trey Inks here.
You can hear in the distance there, the Israelis are hammering the northern part of the Gaza Strip. Still tonight, they are using their Air Force and artillery units along the border to hit different positions inside Gaza. The strikes are very close to where we saw infantry troops earlier today operating alongside tanks and armored bulldozers.
Well, there's Trey Inks for you, per reporter on the scene in Israel. And if he comes out with more, of course, we'll get that to you. The Egyptian Prime Minister says country ready to sacrifice millions of lives to defend territory. From who? See, that's what I don't get. Who defend the territory from who? You know, if you don't attack Israel, Israel's not going to attack you. You know, it's just like, yeah. U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin says in a statement today that over 30 rockets and drones attacks by Iranian-backed militias against American forces in Syria and Iraq over the last 2 weeks must stop, or else the United States will not hesitate to respond. Oh, you see that? More shells coming in there. Respond and protect its people. Floyd Austin, who is the U.S. Secretary of Defense, has just stated, and that was today, about 4 hours ago, that if the Iranian-backed militias, or Iran, does not stop shelling, attacking U.S. forces in the Middle East, they will respond, and they will respond in kind. And it won't be pretty. The major playing part is the factor of, you know, like those two forces going against each other. That's the dangerous part. A new Hezbollah clip hints big announcement. On Friday, 15 leader Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah will speak at a seminary. Look at this. This is from Hezbollah. These sources are in Lebanon. Shiver my timbers. Oh my god. No, yeah. I'm so afraid. I'm so afraid of that. I'm so afraid of them. Absolutely scary. Nah, but we are still waiting for something to supposedly come out on Friday. The forces of Hezbollah is set to make an announcement of some sort. I don't know what it is. All I know is that it's
24 timers anti-wrinkle action.
Dude, YouTube is really pushing it with all these ads. They're really pushing my nerve. Patrick, welcome in. Bolivia breaks off its diplomatic relations with Israel. There you have it. Twitter/X reportedly suspends Hezbollah official account. Israel consulate in New York thanks Elon Musk. All right. A Prigozhin Halloween mask. Oh, really? Oh, they made a they made a Prigozhin Halloween mask. Right. Love that. Want to pretend to be Prigozhin. You know, and let the Russians see you. They may think their leader is back. Hezbollah has announced an attack today on Israel forces along with the border with southern Israel. Lebanon. Which is claimed to have resulted in the targeting and destruction of Merkava Mark 3 or 4 main battle tank. Really? Let's see images from it. Where's the wig option? Well, you get to customize it. That's the whole point, Witchy. You get to customize it. That's the whole point. You got your own wigs. You can, you know, mash it up, put some makeup on it. You know, you can dress up in drag. That's exactly what Prigozhin used to do. He used to dress up in drag. A missile launched by... Oh shit, there's a flare-up. A missile launched by Houthis in Yemen towards Israel has hit Jordan. The Quds free cruise missile flew over Saudi Arabia before hitting Jordan. Oh, we got a picture of it as well. Look at that. So a missile from the howitzers in Yemen towards Israel has hit Jordan. They couldn't even figure out how to hit it. It's so... What's really weird for me is that the fact that Yemen, and you can see it in my title as well, Yemen and Saudi Arabia seems to... Well, the Iranian-backed Saudi Arabia militias, how it seems to not really like each other. And I'm sure in Yemen... Oh, look at that. Coming in. Airstrikes. Oh, you can hear it. Yeah. I'm not sure if Yemen is completely behind the attacks, but I do know that they do allow the Houthis forces to reconcile in the area. However, almost since 2016, the forces in that area has been there because Yemen has been in a unstable state. They are pretty much a failed state, you know, and it's pretty insane, you know. So there's a lot of things going into Gaza right now. That's right, but it does appear to me that Yemen and between the, you know, the Saudi Arabias and the Howitzers, the truce that was put between them has broken pretty much. I mean, they have attacked Saudi Arabia. Why have they done that? Oh, there's a fire out there. Look at that. I believe it's because of the oil, but or the religious difference. You never really know with these guys. I mean, they do it because they do it, right? Well, Western. No, Patrick. I don't think so. I think if you don't look into it, then yeah, I think if you read the news and you're like, and you see all the attacks Israel's conducting, you may think it's overkill and you may start hating Israel. But I think if you really look into the situation, you would understand why they do it. You know, those airstrikes right there, for example, many of those are hitting terrorist targets. You see, earlier today, the Israelis did pound an area. They pounded it with bombs. They took out a terrorist that not only had killed a staggering hundreds of people, that orchestrated an attack all the way back from 2004, a terrorist that had used a terrorist that had you know, that had been attacking Israelis all the way since back 2004. He was killed today because of these strikes. I do note that there's a lot of children. Hey, most of where these things are striking right now, you see a lot of videos of children coming out, right? And you say, oh, the children are getting killed. Many of them are old. Many of them are not from now. The children that live here now, they don't live in the southern part anymore. They live in the northern part, okay? The civilian casualties has been minimized by what we believe to be 90%. They are being minimized. And that's partly because they have moved away. There is less and less civilian casualties. Well, I mean, less people live there. 90%, 90% of the people who used to live there don't live in there anymore. And yeah, and the people that, you know, used to be there, the people that did in fact live there, I mean, they live in the north now. I mean, it's sad, right? But, you know, it's Hamas's fault. It's Hamas that took the initiative. It's Hamas that attacked, and it's Hamas that's hiding under hospitals. That's the problem. It's Hamas. Hamas is hiding under hospitals. Hamas is hiding under civilian buildings. I can't excuse, because I do note that there has been a lot of overkill situations where there's been a lot of airstrikes on situations where there may not have been a reason for Israel to strike. However, casualties are war, you know? You can hear gunfire in the background there. I didn't say I don't feel for the innocent people, Patrick. Of course I do. This is not the... I mean, if there's anybody who does, I've said it a long time. I've said that this is not the people's fault. You know, the people who live in Gaza, this is not their fault. That's why I'm saying it's Hamas's fault. They're the ones who are causing these civilian casualties because they're putting themselves underneath civilian areas, launching rockets at Israel from these remote areas. The Israelis have one option: attack or get attacked, kill or get killed. Okay, that's the problem. Because you have one problem here. You either kill him or you get attacked yourself. That's the issue. You know, it's like what happened in World War II, right? What happened in World War II? You know, a lot of people are happening around Germany. You say to yourself, I feel for the civilians of Germany. Everybody was like, we know that many of the people who lived in Germany at the time weren't part of this war. We didn't go around, you know, the Americans, when they went into Berlin, or the British, they didn't just go around shooting all the civilians because they said it was civilians' fault. They knew that it was the Germans, it was the SS battalions, it was the SS, once, you know, the bastards. You know, they call it the SS, they're the bastard battalion. You know, these people, they were God's worst enemy, right? I mean, the devil's work, right? And you know, you weren't feeling sorry for killing those guys. Even though many times we killed them, civilian casualties. But there's a funny clip because... Yes, there will, Patrick. In the southern part, there will be pink. There will be parts left of Gaza in the southern part. There will be. That's why they're telling them to move to the southern part. However, the areas in where the people, you know, people that used to live in the northern part, Gaza is the most heavily dense populated area in the Middle East. So it is, you know, millions of people live in a area. So millions of people live in an area on the size of this right here. And, you know, they cut it off. They're living in this area down here now, which is the widest part, but it's also, you know, one of the areas that you really have to be careful for because it, you know, it is hard. I get the concern. Listen, I'm not blaming anybody for thinking that this is an overkill and this is sad, because the people who live in Gaza, they're trapped. Okay, I'm not gonna discount that because they are. You see, the people who live here, there are fences here. You know, they're pretty much zoo animals, you know. And they are living like zoo animals. They're living like that because of what Hamas has done to that population. They've made it so that Israel can't trust people that live on the border. And in this country called Egypt, that has the area to house the millions of people, or the Arab coalition, the people who say they support Gaza, all these countries right here, all of these countries, All these countries right here who say we support them. We want to help them. We blah, blah, blah. Right? They don't help them. They don't say, let them through the Rafah border. Let them into our countries. Let us help them out. Okay? Let us have them. Let us shelter those civilians. Let's move them. They're not saying that. They keep saying, oh, we support Gaza. Stop attacking Gaza. But they're not taking civilians. They're not taking... they're not taking them out of the country. They're not housing anybody. They're not sheltering anybody. Egypt has been letting aid trucks through, but it's not even theirs. They're paid to it. And the only reason why they're there is because they're being paid a lot of money to do it. The group of Hamas, the people who are fighting right now, it's going to be the end of Hamas, 100%. They're going to be dead, Poof, gone, But, the people, they won't be. The people of Gaza, the people who live in that area, they won't be. But the Hamas organization will be dismantled, 100%. Maybe the name, maybe the organization will live on. Maybe it'll be a new organization. I don't know, but it certainly won't be in Gaza. That's my honest opinion, The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is currently holding a meeting on the War Cabinet to discuss the progress of operations in Gaza Strip, as well as respond options for ballistic and cruise missiles attack earlier on southern part by the Houthis in Yemen. They're discussing. There he is. Hide. Oh, but the thing, the thing about the Israel people, the Israel intelligence services, that they've already pretty much listed down everyone who works for Hamas, and that's the work of that's how good they are. But yeah, they there's a chance of them hiding in plain sight. That's true. But yeah, no, I don't think so. Explosions are now being reported at U.S. bases near the town of al-Shaddad in Eastern Syria, with this possible being the third attack on U.S. forces in Syria within the last 6 hours. I just want to note something. 4 hours ago, right, or 5 hours ago, Floyd Austin, the toughest man alive. I don't know if he is, but he looks tough. Said that if Iran or these people who are doing this, the Houthis and the Yemen forces or whatever it is, doesn't stop doing this, doesn't stop attacking U.S. bases, there will be a response. And right now, we have just had early reports that there may be U.S. forces airborne. Do I think we're close to a retaliatory attack by U.S. forces in some measure? Yeah, I do think so. The U.S. has responded once, but they haven't responded completely yet. But yeah, I do think so. I really do. I don't think there's much... I don't think there's much wiggle room left. Because eventually they will have to eventually they will have to respond, and that the reason why I'm saying that is because, well, they goddamn. It's enough ads, YouTube, please. But, the wiggle room for the United States to respond, because they don't want to look too weak. You do have the chances of looking too weak, and that's true, Roughly 30 rockets, or 30 attacks, above 30 attacks, A strong fire broke out temporarily occupied Donetsk. First fuel tanks are on fire. Oh, look at that. These are the Orcs fuel tanks. These are the Russian fuel tanks right here on fire. That's gotta hurt. You know, that right there is gonna hurt the Russian advances right there. I will be honest with you. If there's anything the Russians probably won't go down on, it's probably oil. I'll be honest with you, because they have oil. It's not the factor that Russia doesn't have resources or metal or the resources to rebuild its army or supply its army. It's the logistics. It's the factor that the Russian logistics is so fucking shit. You know, it's like they still use railroads. The Russians back in the day, they had some of the most sophisticated, listening modes. Fair enough. They had some of the most significant railroad logistics in the world. But that changed when we got into the modern era. I mean, we still use railroads, don't get me wrong, but you know, logistic-wise, you know, it's important to have the ability to travel along roads or even have that sort of planned out. But the Russians simply didn't think that they would ever fight a war in the modern era, did they? You know? They didn't think that everybody else would be ready.
The fighting of the war.
They didn't expect everybody else to be ready for fighting a modern war. Paris announces that 2 French civilians were killed in the northern Gaza and that their mother who also has a French citizenship, has been injured. Good God. Take a look. Well, I'll jump on something real quick. Check this out. So, since yesterday, let's see if they've made new advancements. We know they have. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look how close they are right now. Look how close they are to the border. Yeah, it's really close at this point. It's so close. Oh, really? All right. And also, look at this stuff right here. Yesterday, they were not even... Yesterday, right? I can show you it. Where are we? This was yesterday. Wait, what? Was this? No, it wasn't yesterday. They had way more yesterday. What? Wait, was it? No, this was yesterday. Or evening or something like that, right? And that right there, for you, what the how what? How does this work? What am I doing wrong? Huh? I'm literally clicking on. Great work right here. Okay. But what I wanted to show you is that yesterday they were here. Like, this is the outline of where they were yesterday. Right? This is all Israel movement right here. Yesterday, they were here. This bulk and that bulk right there didn't exist yesterday. This, you know, all this, they were here yesterday. This is little outline right here. That's where they were yesterday. All of this yesterday didn't exist. All of this. They were here yesterday, but they were only here. They were only on this road. They're here now. So when the Israeli defense minister said there is chances of this taking months, he didn't mean it was going to take months to take Gaza. He meant it was going to take months because there's chance of escalation. That's true. Are they on the full-scale invasion level at this point? I don't know. But they certainly seem to be close to it. Because they're taking the road. We were talking about it yesterday, and we said, which road are they going to take? And I said it was either going to be this road or that road. But it does appear to be this road. So there's that road right there. And they're going to take that, and they're going to cut it all the way over to the coast. You can see them taking the coast. They're going to cut it to the coast, cut off the northern part of Gaza, move into the Gaza city. This is going to be the close quarter fight right here. And what they're fearing right now, and what they are saying, is that this is a very densely populated area, okay? Moving trucks, moving tanks, moving things like that down the road, it leaves them very exposed. So it would mean having to level Gaza. But that's for another. You can see them doing it. I mean, you can see them doing it. You can hear them doing it. They're doing it right now. But having to move tanks and all that through, not only would you have bulldozers to be able to push houses over and all that, which just slowed down the process a little bit, but, you know, it's like, yeah. It is pretty insane. And the Israeli forces are not something to be reckoned with here. They are very much on the tail end right now. They are close. Saudi Arabia says Israel is continuing to violate international law. Yeah. I mean, they're not, but alright. Yemen has fired rockets at Israel. Does Yemen have nothing better to spend money on than rockets to fire at Israel? No. The country has been in a civil war since 2014. When I said 16, but yeah, 14. And it is in the middle of one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, with civilians facing hunger and disease. So this is the point of view right here. Israel, which is a country where people don't starve, a country where people actually have lives, have jobs, have the capabilities to make a life out for themselves, have the ability to travel out of the country, live a life. No, but the other countries that are saying, oh, you're causing a humanitarian crisis, you're doing all this stuff like in their own countries, you know, in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, in Egypt, in Yemen, people are starving. Humanitarian crisis exists in those countries because they're very unstable countries. Partly, I mean, I say many of them are, right? I just don't think they have the right to say that somebody is causing a humanitarian crisis when they themselves have caused humanitarian crises within their countries. It's just, I'm just saying, you know. Egypt calls Israel airstrikes on Jabali an inhuman and a blatant violation of international law. They continue to call it whatever the hell they want to call it. The spokesman from the military wing of Hamas, Abuida, something like that. We plan to release a number of hostages with foreign citizenship in the coming days. We responded to the Israel ground invasion with deliberate action and on multiple fronts in Gaza, including the northwestern east of the center and the southern and southeast of the Strait. 22 military vehicles have been destroyed using anti-tank fire, and missile attacks will continue as part of our defense operation. The war in Gaza will lead to...
Is that? To hell with Canada! We are leaving!
The fuck? The war in Gaza will lead to the political end of Israel and its leaders, including Netanyahu. I doubt that, buddy, but you keep saying it. You keep going ahead. You can say it as much as you want, you know. Go ahead, say as much as you want. EU is weighing fresh sanctions on 5.3 billion in Russian trade. The EU is discussing a new round of sanctions that will hit trade with Russia by 5 billion euros. That's a lot of Russian rubles. The new set of proposed measures includes restriction on the export of welding equipment, chemical, and other technology used for military purposes. The publication writes, licensing bans on software, restrictions on the poor import of construction products, transport goods, and diamonds are also being considered. Do it, goddammit. What the hell you gotta lose? Lukashenko demands compensation from Russia for delayed launch of Russian nuclear power plant. Oh, Belarusian power plant, right. Lukashenko demands compensation from Russia for delayed launch of Belarus nuclear power plant. That's what you get when you make deals with Russia. They ain't gonna keep it, okay? They're not gonna keep it. We'll never keep it. Anthony Fauci run lab in U.S. state of Montana used taxpayers' money to experiment with coronavirus strain shipped from China's Wuhan a year before COVID pandemic began. Really? Maybe they were testing. I don't know. In Kremenchuk, Poltava region, explosions were heard again. What's that? That's here. There's a lot. Ukraine is still pretty lit up today. Very lit up, I'd say. Yeah. 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 The Central Election Commission of Moldova denied accreditation, can't read that, to Russian observers at the local election. This was complained by the OSCE, by the Russian permanent mission to the OSCE. The Russian diplomatic are concerned about, in their words, a violation of Moldova's electoral commitments. Yeah, no, what you're worried about is not being able to influence the Moldovan election. That's what you're worried about. You're worried that you will lose another partner or another person like Moldova, in where you already have people inside of it. You have people inside of that little area called Transnistria, right? You know, a little area called Transnistria. If you don't know what it is, Moldova has plans in joining the EU, and we have said that maybe even plans for joining NATO, but that's, you know, a little bit far-fetched. I don't know if it is, but they certainly could say so. But yeah, and that is fucked up. No, it's not fucked up. It's great. But they have actually plans on joining the EU without part of the country. Transnistria, which is an area they don't really control. They have talked about taking military action. In which areas we have said, why not take military action? Because I don't believe that Russia would actually respond. They have maybe a few thousand soldiers there. You gather a big force and you can take that area back. It is a small garrison of forces. They're not even spread out along the border. Okay, they're not even spread out along the border. Plans for the Russian invasion of Ukraine was to link up, when they got to Odessa, to link up with Transnistria, use Transnistria as a gateway to get further into Ukraine, and then launch another attack from another area, and then try to close in Ukrainian positions like that. But that was another position. They didn't even. That was another thing they didn't do. Now Transnistria, which is an area that's pretty much exposed without Russian equipment. You know, Russian equipment is not getting in there. Okay, you know, Russian priorities right now are not lying with Transnistria. So, would I take it back with force? 100%, or I would at least demand them to leave. Say that they have time to leave. Leave. Go back. We don't want you. You're our country, you know? But if they don't want to take the struggle, I don't blame them either. It's a hard point. A Jewish French woman cries after she discovered that Jewish homes and business in her neighborhood in Paris were targeted overnight by people drawing stars of David on their property. That's probably got to hurt hard right there. And all the things I want to say right there is... That's out of Europe in 1930, right? Oh, sorry. Look at that shit right there. They're drawing the Jude, right? This is in, I think it was in Berlin or something like that, probably. But, you know... I reckon this was in Berlin. This is in France right there. But they're drawing the David Star, which has not a certain, well, it has a history. When we draw it like this, it has a dark history in that way. You know, the star itself is a symbol for Jews, but it's not, you know, it does in some ways have like a dark history, and it's absolutely vile, I'd say, to do something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. All along the streets, there's vandalism. And they're drawing it on specific buildings in where Jews live in. This world is turning towards the anti-Semitism world again, and I don't think we can let it. It won't be long before we have people in parliament calling for anti-Jewism. Something like that, you know? Somebody who's in support of Palestine, and therefore he's going to start talking about how we need to blah, blah, blah. You know, fuck off. I don't like it. At least one of the Kurds 4 land attack cruise missile launched by Houthis in Yemen at southern Israel earlier today appears to have landed in Jordan, though it is unknown if it was intercepted before it crashed. Could be. I'd imagine maybe it could have been intercepted by Israeli or something like that. That could have been another thing. I mean, it did land in a remote location, right? So it landed in a location that appears to have pretty much had nothing. Nobody was around, so that's a good thing right there. But yeah, I mean, sorry, it slipped out. Extremely heavy fighting is ongoing across northern Gaza tonight as Israel troops and tanks continue to attempt to advance south towards Gaza City. There was reports earlier tonight that a number of IDF soldiers have been injured as possibly killed after coming under anti-tank fire near Jabalia. U.S. warship in Red Sea likely providing early warning to Israel about what? Oh, about missile UAV attacks from Yemen. Israel Navy deploys vessels in Red Sea to boast early detection capacity. Right. I mean, that sentence didn't really make a lot of sense, but I think they're saying that they have put a warship in there. Right. The Dnipro, Poltava, Kharkiv, Zaporizhia region air raid alert. Regional administration proceed to their shelter. Threat of ballistic missile use. Ukraine Air Force. Ukraine's Air Force have just reported that there may be reports of a possible... No. Jesus Christ, dude. Really? A possible threat of missile use... ballistic missile use in the areas around... Oh, yeah. The movement of strikes UAVs. A group... maybe not. Maybe not anymore. Could have been taken down. All right, well, I think we're gonna get a sum up of what happened today. Let's watch the flash news here.
У напрямку відновлення нам активно допомагають наші партнери. Зокрема, сьогодні затверджуємо угоди про фінансування програми «Підтримка Євросоюзу для відновлення та реформ». Після її підписання Єврокомісія виділить 335 мільйонів євро допомоги. Це кошти на відбудову інфраструктури, зокрема енергетики, на допомогу бізнесу, на антикорупційні заходи, на захист довкілля та цифровізацію. Дякуємо європейським союзникам за те, що вони завжди поруч.
Ось так виглядає зараз одна з наших бібліотек.
Сколько на маршруте было? Одна и та же.
Я не знаю. Треба допомагати людей.
Это, считай, получается прям возле вот вахты первой, напротив большого. Столб, конечно, из-за пасмурности не видно, но он прям вообще высоченный.
there you have it. Good update for you right there. Of course, we'll move on with further updates. Bring it all. UAV attacks could be expected in Ukraine very soon. It appears it may have happened in Kremlinsky region and in Poltava. Air raids are going off. Could be an all clear. I wasn't really watching that. A Russian Mi-2, which is a helicopter, crashed in Yakautia today. This is the look of it. I don't know if you can see something's wrong with it, but it doesn't look like it's flying anymore, and it doesn't really look like it's the right way up. So, you know, that's what's wrong with it. It's pretty obvious right there, right? There was powerful explosions in Donetsk. I showed you the video earlier from a oil tanker that exploded. Ukrainians are continuing to advancing. Let's see if we could maybe get you some things from the UAV live map. See if there's some things coming up here that we could show you to give you the situation update here. One of the things, of course, that we are watching is the Ukrainians that are jumping over the border to the left bank here. Still doesn't appear to be completely reported yet. However, it is stated that they are in this area here. And there is a cutout here, so I believe they are. It's not completely folded up yet, but they are saying it could be. Of course, you can see it kind of pushes in right there, and you can see it kind of pushing actually kind of all along the sort of border here. I mean, they're not Russians, not really here. This is technically no man's, but right there is where the Russians start. That's where they retreated to last time. Here is the Ukrainians. They push across the bridges, their platoons, their everything. They are in the Ivaka, something like that, region. They are getting close to being at the Poima and continuing to assault from amphibious actions. They are pushing hard in the Zaporizhia direction, as well as up here towards the area of the Bakhmut area, as well as, well, that's pretty much it, isn't it? I guess I can kind of better explain it. I do like Deep State a little bit more. It just gets you a bit more of a sort of interactive way of looking at it. Right here, yeah. Further advances by the Russians, however, small, I'd say. Very small kind of pushes. Further advances by the Ukrainians today. They actually took back areas in two fronts, both in Zaporizhia direction, and again over. It's funny why they're not updating this over here. We know they're there, but they don't appear to think they are or can confirm it. But I know they are. I don't want to tell it because I know they are. I mean, it's just like a whole like, can we confirm it? Can we not? I mean, officially they may not be, but I think they are. Bloomberg reports that the U.S. and Israel are exploring the. Oh, I read this earlier. Right. Well, multinational leadership in Gaza. Anthony Blinken's kid dressed up as Zelensky today. People were calling it quite disgusting. I don't know why they were. I mean, I think he's the kid dressing up as Zelensky. I don't know if he made him do it or if he simply wanted to dress up as Zelensky. If that's what he wanted to do, I think that's fine. I think Zelensky definitely saw that as if he did see it, but you know, it's a kid. Doesn't matter. Halloween. Happy Halloween, by the way. More strikes and heavy fighting in Gaza tonight. IDF will continue to escalate operations while closely watching other fronts. Here is time for a break. Oh, right that. Here's time for a break. They're watching other fronts. They're still watching Hezbollah. We're expected to have a meeting from a ceremony, or however you say it, from the Lebanon forces, the Hezbollah forces, on, or at least the leader of that, on Friday at 3 o'clock. Certainly keep an eye on that then. Palestinian health minister says there are thousands of bodies under the rubble in Gaza that have not yet been reached. Not been reached yet. I really doubt that, but okay. I think they're overdoing the numbers, but could be. I couldn't prove it or not, you know. Yeah. There has been further attacks in Tel Aviv. Somehow Hamas is still, while fighting a front on three fronts with Israel, they're still firing rockets at Tel Aviv. It's quite amazing, isn't it?
What's your deal? I mean, you and
Here's
Donald
the deal.
Trump talk about, we're going to sort it
Well,
all
I'll
out
give you
tomorrow.
detail. In my case, I'll give you details.
You would give Putin what he's taken.
I won't give him anything. There's a deal.
What would you give him?
I wouldn't give him anything. I would give him a deal.
What's the deal he's going to take?
Well, here's the deal. He has to exit his military alliance with Xi Jinping. End the Russia-China military alliance. That's the top threat that the U.S.
What's
faces.
the deal with Ukraine?
And then in return, what we get is a hard commitment that NATO will not admit Ukraine to NATO.
A hard commitment that NATO won't admit Ukraine to NATO. What's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? I don't give a fuck. What do you think? Oh, look at that. That is a weird flight pattern. Why is Forte 11 flying next to Kaliningrad and Belarus on the Polish border? You know, I tell you what, I think I know why. Because I've been watching this. Somebody made a tweet about this right now. Russian Air Force has flown one of its AN-124 cargo planes to from Kaliningrad 4 days in a row. It's the world's largest operating cargo plane. World's largest. Fucking Christ. It's one wonder what is heavy, large, needs to move now and can't wait for almost daily ferry. My scripts has never seen it before. You have pictures of it. I've shown it. Now, earlier, I was talking about this possible false flag attack that could be happening in Belarus. They say they want to blame it on Ukraine. Then Belarus said, let's close the corridor, the Suwalski corridor. Belarus stated, let's close the Suwalski corridor. That's Lukashenko right there for you. He said, let's close this Suwalski corridor, right? He also said, they also stated there could be a possible false flag attack at an oil depot in Belarus. Then, Russian drone operators have started operating in Belarus to train Belarusian drone operators. They talked about doing it with a drone. This is directly from Ukrainian intelligence, not just me, Ukrainian intelligence. Then, they're starting to move a shit ton of equipment into Kaliningrad. They're using the world's largest cargo plane to move things into Kaliningrad. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Is something happening? And what are they waiting on? I don't know, but something appears to be happening, which is for some reason, now, Forte 11, which, by the way, look at the flight pattern of Forte 11. It was supposed to go to the Black Sea. If it wanted to go to Poland, it wouldn't have flown like this pattern right here. It could have just gone over Italy and over Austria and you know, over Czech, you know, and into Poland. It could have just done that. But no. It had to make a U-turn. All of a sudden, Forte 11 made a U-turn at the Romanian border. Flew over Romania, flew over what I believe to be Czechoslovakia. Okay, geography is not really doing good right now. These small countries right here, I know what they're called. I know what they're called. It doesn't matter. Flew into Poland and is now doing lines directly next to the Kaliningrad border, next to the Belarusian border, watching the Suwalski Gap. What the fuck? What is happening? Are we looking at a possible escalation from Putin? There's absolutely no reason for him to fly back and forward with a 1:24 a.m. cargo plane in 4 days in a row back and forward. Unless you're moving something huge. Oh, it's there again. No, it's not. But look at... Oh, no. Look what's flying right now. Another cargo plane. Another massive cargo plane. A Lycian 76 MD 90A is flying right now. And it's in the Baltic. It's in the Gulf of Finland right now. Heading towards the Baltic Sea. That's heading to Kaliningrad. So another plane is just heading towards Kaliningrad. Forte 11 has never done this flight pattern before. Never. It has never. Maybe once have I seen it. But I swear to you, I have never seen Forte 11 do this flight path. Never ever. This shit is beyond weird right now. By the way, I actually think Lavrov's on that plane. I don't know why, because I saw that plane land in Beijing, right? And then Lavrov was talking to Beijing, and then this plane took off, and it took off in Beijing, and he's now heading towards right. He could be in that, but it doesn't matter. No, actually, he wasn't, because he was in Moscow today, so he's not. Right. Maybe some Russian diplomats, probably. I don't know. Somebody was in Beijing. I know he was there. No, Shoki, but Lavrov was also there. Shoki, it wasn't Lavrov, it's Shoki. I don't know, it doesn't matter. But just to point out here, guys, I've never seen Forte 11 do that. And Russia is moving something from an airfield just outside Moscow to Kaliningrad. shit ton of equipment, big planes moving into Kaliningrad. I don't know about you, but I think something's up. I've got that feeling. Oh shit. No, okay. Well, look at this. Look at that right there. We got 2 USA tanker right now. 2 United States of America tankers. These are tankers right here. They fuel planes midair. 2 of those are up right now, and they are literally heading over Saudi Arabia towards Iraq. We got the Homer 42 out here, which is a river joint. Yeah, things are happening. Oh, more explosions in Gaza. But look at that. Look at this, for example. They're still moving equipment, by the way. There you go. They're still moving equipment. They're still moving planes out. The United States are still supplying forces. Hey, something's up. I've got that feeling. I usually get it when something's weird. Oh, Copra's up. That's a tank. No, it's a river joint, but yeah, I don't know why they keep calling it. Well, it's a tanker. It does say it's a tanker, but it's an RC-135 Strat tanker. Straddle tanker, so it's a so it's a river joint tanker? Yeah? Keep an eye on that Forte 11 for me. Never have I seen that. Oh, look at that. See that? Big explosion back there. Yeah, it's really weird. It is so fucking weird right now. And I'm still watching everything, and things are escalating all around, and it's moving downhill, you know? It's like a downhill slope from here, you know? No, it's not, because it is. Yeah, there's really nothing. So a lot of reports from 11 hours ago. Oh, look at that. The Houthis in Yemen announced they fired missiles and drones towards Israel and will keep doing so. Look at this. An announcement that came out from them. I read it earlier, but we do have it. They shout a lot. Dude, can you... Jesus Christ. They shout a lot. You know, it's like... Dude, okay.
بإطلاق دفعة كبيرة من الصواريخ البالستية والمجنحة وعدد كبير من الطائرات المسيرة على أهداف مختلفة للعدو الإسرائيلي في الأراضي المحتلة.
Oh, sorry.
إن القوات المسلحة اليمنية تؤكد أن هذه العملية هي العملية الثالثة نصرة لإخواننا المظلومين في فلسطين، وتؤكد استمرارها في تنفيذ المزيد من الضربات النوعية بالصواريخ والطائرات المسيرة حتى يتوقف العدوان الإسرائيلي.
I fucking hate the way they... No, listen, I say the way I hate the way they... I don't hate the way people speak Arab or talk. That's not what I'm saying. I hate when those military announcers, because they all do the same thing. You're speaking that way there. They do like, it's like I really don't like that, because it just speak normally, dude. You can speak normally. I don't know why he yells. I don't know. Because I have friends that speak Arabic or whatever you want to say. People from Afghanistan. You know, they don't yell every time they fucking speak. You know, it's like these weird things. People that live down there, these military people, they do that. Like, could you imagine if I just like, yeah, so welcome in, guys. That's every time I'm speaking. That's exactly how I was talking. Would that be nice? And it wouldn't be very nice, would it? The people I know live in Denmark. They don't yell. So it's these people in the military organizations down there. Whenever they make an announcement, they yell. It's the same thing. You know, it's like, yeah. They yell a lot. I'm not trying to say, again, you know, not all of them. No. A lot? Yeah. But like, the people I know, they certainly don't do that. Why? I don't get it. I just don't get. I mean, I get the expression. You want to seem like you're the overhead, or you know, something like that. But like, it's, yeah. You know, like when people from China makes announcements, or North Korea, it's exactly like that. They have the same thing. They do it exactly the same way. It's insane. Guess that's just their way of speaking. I guess so. I guess so. I reckon so. I reckon so. Your scary smile. Massive air attack continues in Ukraine today. I can see it's remotely in Poltava. It appears that both UAVs and cruise missiles caliber appear to be hitting positions in Ukraine today. Quite the aftermathing right there. You can see it on the screen here. Yeah. Your kid's just scary voice. It's like a low voice. There are different ways people get scared, you know. It's like there's different ways. Sorry, I wanted to show you something. I want to show you a video. I'm just watching it through right now to make sure it's not containing anything I couldn't show. If it does, because I'm at 19 seconds left. It's like a minute video. It's like it's footage of Israel infantry inside Gaza. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to see, but I just want to make sure there's not anybody who's... I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah, but guys, look at this right here. These are footage from Israel infantry inside of Gaza. Sorry I'm stopping here, but this is one of the things I was talking about earlier. You can see the difficulties and the reason why Hamas may be able to take out some tanks is because of this situation right here, where there is... I mean, this is Gaza here for you. It is destroyed. It is destroyed to a level of unrecognizable. But sorry, that was that's to another point. That's another point to make here. But it's a war zone, right? One of the things that's about these tanks right here, they are powerful tanks. Maneuverability could be better, I think. But just to make a point here, this is the conditions. This is why they've lost tanks against things that maybe shouldn't even be able to take out those tanks, because they don't really have the means. I mean, they have the means. They have limited means, and they could have been avoided. But I think the reason why they have is because of the conditions like this. Moving around inside territory where everything is destroyed. There's rubble on the ground. Things are, you know, all these right here. You know, moving tanks over that. This is just pure soft. You know, very soft sand looks like. You know, sand that's been blown up from the air from airstrikes, or there's potholes, and there's, you know, tanks are durable and they're off road, obviously, but you know they're also quite hard to move such a heavy thing through territory that is not only destroyed, but you know, yeah. That is a insight from Israel infantry inside of Gaza right there. Putin has reportedly relaxed his quarantine rules in order to meet him. Now, in order to meet with Putin, you only need to spend 5 days in isolation. Quarantine and testing must be done if you're having a one-on-one meeting in close range with Putin. You don't have to quarantine, just test if you don't come 5 to 3 meters near him. I imagine the factor that he says, oh yeah, I've relaxed my rules. Could you imagine if that's his relaxing rules? Could you imagine when they weren't relaxed? How long do you think you had to spend in isolation? Probably 2 weeks or something like that. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's over, dude. Like, the U.S. and Israel is exploring the... Oh yeah, I would have met that earlier there. The U.S. and the British... The Gaza could be controlled by U.S. and British peacekeeping forces in the future. Yeah, when the war is all settled and done. Well, that's probably somewhere in the future. Well, obviously. Obviously. With 3 posts, the media of Yemen and Ansarullah army seems to welcome the war with Israel. Wait for the surprise. So look at that. So they put out this right here just in, or not just in, but 7 hours ago, right? Wait for the surprise. And they put out this one right here, and it's like a drone thing, and they got the flag up, and, you know, they got, yeah. And they say, with these posters, the media of Yemen's Ansarullah Something like that. Army seems to welcome the war with Israel. They are welcoming. I think it's only a matter of time how long you can keep it up for, you know? Initial reports of explosions heard in Elite, southern Israel. Russian S-300 missile system damaged in Crimea as a result of a missile attack. Ooh, those are expensive equipment right there. As a Russian S-300 has been destroyed. It may even be a 700. I don't know if it. They're saying it's 700. They're saying a 300. So, yeah, nice. 400 and 300. Yeah, but they say 300. There's a missile defense there. Their so-called dense air network, which isn't really that dense anymore, it's gonna make it easier for the Ukrainians to do whatever the hell they want to do, right? And it's good. This is good. Russia throws unprotected Storm Sea infantry into meat attack near Andivika. Analysts at the Institution of Study of War ISW note that Russian troops are using Storm Sea infantry units in attacks near Andivika, which on average loses up to 40 to 70% of their personnel in a few days. Experts note that the Storm Sea assault units are formed mostly from prisoners. They're also thrown into frontal attacks. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, if they're formed mostly of prisoners, which many of them are probably people who simply spoke out, many of them probably murderers or victims of rape, you know, kill those off. I don't care about the actual criminals, but how many of those are actual criminals, you know? And how true can you actually believe the Russians when they say they only throw prisoners at it? 60 to 70%. I don't know, if any of you wants up to hit 250, I know. It's great. If any of you want to take a guess, how long do you think the expectation for a Russian soldier fighting in Stalingrad during World War II was? How long? If you know your history, you should probably know it, but how long do you think it took a Russian soldier to die in Kaliningrad? A human person, a soldier, a young man. If you don't know, if you take the guess, right? It was 24 hours. Oh, look at that. You saw that? Explosions back in Gaza there. You put forward the result there. A platoon, or whatever they call it, a brigade, or a company of soldiers would usually last 4 days. That's a whole company. United States, when they put forward a company, that company was expected to last towards the end of the war. A company put into Stalingrad would sometimes last days. If 4 days sometimes were the max number of days they would survive against the Germans. Point being, it was fucking hell. Okay? And for a Russian soldier to survive 24 hours, sometimes way less. Way less. You know? Surviving 24 hours of a war is not a long time, okay? That's not how war works, you know? You want to fight a war, you got to fight it for a long time. Or sometimes, at least, for quite a long time. And you don't fight, you know, for 24 hours. You fight the war. But of course, people die, but you're expected to sort of have a company after the end of the siege. That didn't happen. Officers, they may survive longer. Usually an officer's life, which a higher ranking officer, right, sometimes survive 2 to 3 days. You know, dying with their companies at the end of the day, right? You know, generals, people who orchestrated the attacks, they didn't die because they were far, far away, just like they are now. Think about it. Stalingrad and modern day Andivika attacks on the Andivika direction in the Donetsk area is literally approximately the same as what happened in Stalingrad. 60 to 70% die every time they storm against Ukrainian positions. Ukrainians, which have better technology, better weapons, and more weapons. It's a repeat, right? Now, this time, hopefully, they won't win it, because we all know, while the Germans did fight them off and killed many Soviet soldiers, they did win in the end. But point is, point being, this time they didn't expect it to win. It was like a 70% kill rate. 70% of those soldiers, young men sometimes, or simply prisoners, or whatever they are, companies gone. Units, brigades are gone within days of operations. The difference between Stalingrad, the difference between Stalin and Putin, are just becoming less and less and less. Okay? It's so similar, it's insane. David, welcome in. Approximately 400 American citizens and their family members, about 1,000 people total, are stuck in Gaza and are seeking to leave, U.S. Secretary of State Blinken stated earlier. So it's 400 American citizens and their families, so about a total of 1,000 people. Shit. Now, Hamas did just state earlier that they would release prisoners with foreign nationalities. However, it's also noted that they stated that Lavrov said that Hamas would release Russian citizens. So I don't know if their so-called releasing of foreign citizens would include Americans, because I think it might just include other. I think, sadly enough, the Hamas recognizes the fortune of having an American citizen because of the ongoing situation. So yeah, it could be hard to really note right now. Big clashes between IDF and Hamas terrorists inside Bayit Hanun, northwestern Gaza. Reports of explosions heard near Eilat in southern Israel. It could be near the Israel. There could be Lebanon attacks or something like that. Pictures from Eilat unclear if an interception has occurred. Through reverse images, search and have not hit yet. He just released this right here. They're saying could be an interception or a hit. That's certainly, no, that looks like an interception right there. They are saying it could be interceptions. The direction of where it came from could be Lebanon. Could be Gaza. Or Hamas, but it's all the way in the southern part, so yeah. The Ukrainian army has struck a Russian field train on the outskirts of the city of Donetsk. Oh, that was earlier, but it's still going? That's 16 seconds ago. Holy shit, it's another one? The Ukrainians are striking the goddamn Russian fuel trucks. Look at that. That's gone. That oughta hurt. That's gotta hurt. That guy, he's got hit. He's like, oh shit, I got hit. Jesus Christ. I don't like Danish TV. I don't like it. I don't like it. There's some of it I like, but a lot of it I don't. Several explosions and possible interceptions are being reported over the city of Eilat in southern Israel near the Red Sea. Look at that. They're saying it's an interception. However, that right there looks like some kind of thing could have hit. I don't know if that's true or not. But they are saying interceptions are being reported west of Gaza. You gotta love commercials. Well, yeah, it's all the time right now. I think there's a flare up. There's that plane, maybe? I don't know. There's something in the background there. But yeah, for anyone who were here, Forte 11, who usually flies in the Black Sea, is not flying in the Black Sea. It's over here. Now, you can go back in the video or hear me rant about the possible attacks from Belarus. How, not Belarus, but Russian authorities and Belarusian authorities planning a false flag attack in Belarus. How there could be, how the Russians are moving planes back and forward. One AN-124, the biggest cargo plane, moving back and forward between Russia and Kaliningrad, especially just like this one right here. There's just been another plane. Now it's already been in Kaliningrad. Look at it. Look at it. It's a plane that's been in Kaliningrad, went back, is now heading back. Okay? It's a Lycian 76 MD. 1 second. Got a flight trader as well. And they're still hitting things in. It's big-ass cargo planes putting things back and forward between Kaliningrad and now Forte 11 has picked up this flight pattern watching not only Kaliningrad, we have to assume it's Kaliningrad, and Belarus. Okay? Right now, notably Kaliningrad. The U.S. knows something's up. Because not only did they just say they might, German foreign ministers, and I think I'm not German war correspondent or whatever he was, and I think it was a minister, said that we have to prepare for a war in Europe. But I don't think he was pointing this out, but he did say it. I mean, I'm not trying to be fear-mongering here, but I'm just saying things are, you know, rambling up right now. Things are still moving. I think the Middle East is turning into a hot pocket. Europe is turning into a hot pocket. So it's got to burst sometime. Something's about to happen. There's always a lot of videos that come out of like interceptions and all that stuff. I can't really claim if they're all true, because I simply don't know, but yeah. Oh, look at that. They're saying some more footage from Eilat, southern Israel, suspected Houthis attack. What they're saying is... The fuck? Please stop. What are you doing?
Whoa! Till.
What? Till. It's pausing itself. What is it doing? Look at this. It's pausing itself. Might be better now. There you go. Look at that. It might be a ballistic now, but it's certainly something big. Look at that. They are intercepting it. That was an interception right there. But they're saying this is coming in from possible Houthi attack. Could be this in southern Lebanon. Could be Lebanon. Could be Hezbollah. Could be something like that. But this is targeting of residential areas just here right now. It is not targeting of any Israeli military. Just want to point something out here. We are watching possible attacks of targeting against civilian areas. Civilian areas. See, you can fuck around with Israeli military equipment. Apparently you can. But Israel has a Israel has a a soft spot for when it comes to their civilians. Who doesn't? Looks like the Houthis were not lying when they said they were preparing to launch more missiles at southern Israel. They are launching it. Possible payback attempts? Sure. If Israel attacks against targets of Houthis in Yemen, it is literally a straight-on attack on Iranian-backed militia. That's something for you right there. Okay, I'm gonna turn this one off right now because it is getting on my nerve. IDF a short time ago, air defense fighters intercepted an aerial threat detected in the Red Sea area south of Eilat. No danger. Oh shit! I keep saying Lebanon. I keep forgetting that the south. Oh my god! I'm stupid. I literally said it was Lebanon, but I keep forgetting. It's not Lebanon. Really, dude? Oh my god, this dude was... Oh my god. Really, dude? Wow. Fuck off. Yeah. I kept saying it was Lebanon, but I forget that's the north of Israel. Holy shit! A lot of things to keep track of. But no, sorry, I kept saying Lebanon. So southern Israel, or south of Israel, sorry, it's down here. That's towards the Red Sea. The Red Sea's there. That's the Red Sea right there for you. So, yeah, is it a interception of attacks from Yemen? 100%. It also means, by the way, that for these things to get there, I just want to point something out. For those things to get there, they would have to travel near or even close to or inside Egyptian territory. But they're not shooting it down. You know, why would they start shooting things down? There's absolutely no reason for that. Things to get. Hello? Oh, I think my Streamlabs is not having a good time right now. You guys, you're able to hear me, right? Things to get. Hello? No, you guys can hear me. Oh, it's good. It's good now. I don't know. I was looking at it. It was just weird. Oh my fucking god! I fucking hate YouTube. I so fucking hate YouTube. It's fucking ridiculous how many fucking ads they can play in a fucking hour. Like I get you run your fucking company on ads, but chill. Okay, because it fucks up everybody's streams. It fucks up everything. Things are happening and you run an ad and then you have to wait for 30 seconds. When something's really happening, then you play an ad, but you don't play an ad over the White House live stream, you know? The Israeli Defense Force have just confirmed that a hostile contact was intercepted several minutes ago over the Red Sea of the south of Eilat. That is pretty immaculate right there for you. Sorry, got a little mad right there. I don't like the fact that I can't use. I hate the fact that I can't use my fucking app blocker anymore. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. A short time ago, the air defense fighters intercepted an aerial threat detected in the Red Sea south of Eilat. No danger to civilians were perceived, and no intrusion into Israel territory was detected. Incursions, sorry. Not intrusions, sorry. No, they did say that, and the IDF did tweet about it. The IDF has just tweeted about it. The Israel Defense Force have just tweeted about it. So it should be pretty true. Did just share that on my Twitter. It is pretty true. But it didn't say any threat to Israel's citizens occurred. I thought it did because it very much looked like one of them got very close to it, but maybe that was somewhere else then. Yeah. Ooh, that was a big explosion right there. You heard that. You heard that right there. It was a big explosion. Russia unsuccessfully tries to attack on free front. General Staff just reported about it as well. Okay. That's unsuccessfully attack on free fronts. Didn't make it. Yeah. Because they're fucking stupid. Who said that? Who said that? Yeah. Hope for air defense. That looks right there. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Well done, Ukraine. 100%. 100% done. Well done, Ukraine. Oh, you hear it back there right now. It is popping off here in Gaza. Multiple rocket strikes here and back in Gaza. I mean, the Israeli Air Force did tweet and said that they are detecting a increased threat in the Red Sea and therefore has deployed multiple air defense systems, or probably Iron Dome, at least in the area, I'd imagine. Holy shit. In other news, I can show you that right here. Give me a second. Check this out. A semi-truck collided with a pickup truck carrying a trail full of fireworks on a highway in British Columbia, Canada, resulting in an hour-long fireworks show. An hour-long fireworks show. That was a lot of fireworks. Yay! That's gonna cost us a lot of money. That's a lot of money going up, but at least it's pretty. Can we replace it? No, we can't. That was a lot of money. Yay! Look at it, how beautiful. Look how beautiful it is, though. An hour long. This video is 2 minutes and 33 seconds long. And it's just about a fireworks going off in Canada. British Columbia, Canada. What the fuck? Well, the fact that they managed to go up, the fact that they managed to fire off and go off, you know, go upwards as well. Just gotta let it burn out. Keeps going. An hour-long fireworks show. It took an hour for that. That's a lot of fireworks. You know, for firework to go off for an hour, you really gotta heavily do that. A member of Howard Political Bureau tweeted Eilat 12 minutes following an Israeli interception over the Red Sea. Oh, look at that shit right there. Fuck that. Oh my god. We gotta follow. I'm following this person right now because apparently they're part of the political bureau. And I will follow him, not because I like them, but because I want the news. So I will follow it. I don't like it, but I will do it. I can't translate it sweet, but supposedly this right here is supposed to say... Can I translate it? Why can't I? Oh, shit. Sorry. Well, that was stupid. Oh, big explosion right there. But apparently, they put out a statement saying Eilat, following an Israeli interception over the Red Sea. Huh. Oh my god, it is... It's just going off there in Gaza tonight. It doesn't... Hurting. It hurt. Oh, sorry. That was not meant to happen. Oh, there again. Heard that. A suspected gunman has taken an unknown number of people hostage inside a post office in Japan following suspected shooting in a nearby hospital. That was reported 14 hours ago. That's probably gone off by now. I hope so. This... Yeah. Fucking bullshit. Dinner's done? Alright. Have a good dinner then. Have a good dinner. Hope it tastes nice. 300 targets have been hit in Gaza in the past 24 hours. The Israeli Defense Force reported. 300 targets. That's more than what the U.S. took out in a long time. I don't know. Probably not. Xi Jinping chairs rare. Oh, Xi chairs rare. Oh, Xi chairs rare meeting to resolve risk in China's finance sector. Xi Jinping is having trouble in the finance sector? Can't afford his millions of tanks. Can he? Can't afford a war? No. So, okay. Done a little taco chill, my favorite. Oh, you're done. Alright, you done. Alright. Taco chill, my favorite. Fair enough. Russians plan to put yet another power unit of Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant on a hot shutdown mode. Ukrainsky Pravda in English. That's the that's the Zaporizhzhia to set MPP. That was 24 hours ago. Can't believe I missed that, but apparently I did miss that. My bad. A lot of stuff comes out constantly. It's hard to keep up, but it's I had it because I kept that thought in my back of my mind, like, well, that's something that they could still focus on. Apparently now they're picking it up again. We are seeing a slight increase. The funny thing is, this thing over here, which usually that one right there, right? It usually doesn't, because it was October 27th, and then today, October 31st, right? They then said 110 on the radiation scale there. And that's been happening throughout the last few days here. I don't know if it's that or if it's bad or not. All I know is it's it could be it's like a thing you have to see, You didn't see that either? No, I missed it. Just as you thought it was going to happen. Just as you thought they were going to leave it alone. Now, it is noted that I think right now one of them is on a hot shutdown mode. But a hot shutdown mode doesn't go within the rules of how you run a nuclear power plant. Therefore, it could resolve in a paramount effect or chain reaction or something like that. But I don't really see if it's, personally, if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if it's something that could change, something that could be happening. They're supposed to keep one of them on hot shutdown to produce steam and power for the planet itself. Heat, general things for the general quarters and things for, people, but put two of them in hot shutdown mode. There's something weird because you're not supposed to do that. So, are they trying to do something? I don't know. American commandos on the ground in Israel are helping to locate the hostages held by Hamas. The Pentagon top special operation policy official, we are actively helping the Israelis to do a number of things. Christopher P. Mayer, his name is Mayer, and Assistant Secretary of Defense told a special operation conference in Washington. He said that a main task was to help Israel identify hostages, including American hostages. It's really our responsibility to do so. So the U.S. is in Israel, which we knew. I didn't know there was U.S. officials helping Israel in Israel, but yeah. I think that's pretty good. Kadyrov ordered to shoot at any possible participation of riots in Chechnya after 3 warnings. If at least one person here comes out to unsanctioned riots, detain and imprison him, or make free warning shots into air, and if the person doesn't obey the law, make the 4th shot into the forehead. They won't come out anymore. This is my order. Kadyrov told representative of Chechnya police and Ruxvidia at a meeting in Chechnya government. That Kadyrov motherfucker, he's just a crazy idiot. He wants to shoot his own people for rioting. That's how they keep power. Power through force. Same thing. Same way they do it in Russia. Attacks on U.S. forces risk conflict with Iran. Well, no shit, bullshit. No shit. Surface-to-air missiles. Sorry, probably should have read that. Surface-to-air missile launched from Lebanese territory at an IDF drone over northern Israel has been intercepted within the last hour, with the Israeli forces launching an airstrike of the missile site in response. So this is where they shot the rocket off from, and then what the Israeli does is then respond in kind by pretty much blowing the shit out of it. He is gross. He is gross. You're right on that. Do I like the way the Israelis fight? No, but I like the way they think. Nah, I'm kidding. I like the way they fight. Oh, sue me, sue me. Do I think they're going overboard sometimes? Yes. Do I think they overkill sometimes? Yes. However, I like how precise they are. And the civilian casualties, that right there, I agree. It's at a death toll point where now we are at a point where I'd say it's an overkill. But hey, listen, we cannot continue to simply let everybody get away with everything. Okay, sometimes there has to be a justice day. There's a winning side and there's a losing side. If you say me, I want to be on the winning side. Okay, sorry, that's just how it is. Sue me, okay? Sue me. I don't care. I think I have my right to say that I think that killing terrorists is the right thing to do. Do I think killing the civilians? Do I think the civilian casualties are something I want? No, I don't agree with the amount of casualties we've had. Do I believe in collateral damage? That's another point right there, but I don't believe in the amount of casualties that we got. I think at least we could have gone around that. And I don't want to see innocent people die, but do I want to see terrorists die? Yeah. So, you know, I think we can all agree on the factor that we want terrorists that has done such horrific events to, well, at least perish or at least be deorganized. You know what I'm saying, right?
Prime Minister Alexei Gromyko, Soviet time.
VK Remzve wants to offer other people lives and land to Russia, sacrifice their rules-based international system and enabling yet more further future aggression. In return, he wants Russia to give up a military alliance it doesn't have.
Making the demands, Russia is threatening, and now if we think that, oh, let's offer them something.
Well, I think it's the minister. I don't know. Something. Look at the background right now, guys.
Action. 24 timers anti-wrinkle action.
Fuck you.
Reducere rynkler.
Look at the background. Look at that. That's fire right there. Gaza's on fire right now. On fire, buddy. You're on fire. You're not doing too good. I wonder what's out there. I mean, they're obviously, that's obviously the areas in where they're fighting Hamas, I'd imagine. I like how this voting right here. Like, what is better way to spend Yemen's limited resources? Rocket to fire at Israel, or for starving Yemenis? I voted for starving Yemenis, and not to be somebody. Oh, like, oh, he's such a noble person. No, fuck off. I am a noble person. Don't get it wrong. No, well, that's somebody, you know, a noble person saying you're a noble person. There's not really a noble person, is there? But it doesn't really matter. Point being, I think it's strange to see like 26% of people hate Israel that much that's their answer. You know, it's like and people must really hate Israel in some areas. I mean, you know, it's a lot. That is certainly a lot. Could you do me a favor? Whatever you do, please don't elect this guy. I'm seriously, you know, if you elect this guy, not only will Ukraine lose its territory, the territory that Russia has taken, but America, I don't believe, would be better. And not because of who he is, not because of how he looks like. I just don't believe that he has the capabilities to lead a country. I loved Obama, by the way. I just want to point that out here. I liked Obama. He was a charismatic guy. He was a great guy. Now, some people might not like him. Some people say he didn't do a good job. I don't know. I don't. But yeah. I hear planes right now over this area here. Oh shit. That's a big explosion back there. You heard that? You like any of them? No. I'll be honest with you. If anything, we may need to pick Biden. However, I don't know if you heard, but... Oh, look at that. But... That, what's his name? That, what's that? That Robert Kennedy guy. The Kennedy, the guy who's running for independent. He's supporting Ukraine. Now, he's a Kennedy. Now, I don't know if you guys like him or not. I mean, he's sometimes, I've seen his tweets. He does put out some tweets that's very questionable. He puts out some things. He says some things that's very questionable. But I mean, he's a Kennedy, and I know you're like, oh, not can't just give people just because they're Kennedys and all that stuff. I know that, but you know, the creeper. All right, so so you don't like him, right? Okay. I saw he's running for independent. He's trying to win being an independent. It's a bold move. I'll give him that. Look at that flare out there. That's live right there. It's inside Gaza right there. Yemen Houthis fighter gathered doing a military maneuver near Sania, Yemen. The Houthis are part of Iranian-backed axis of resistance. Look at that. Kennedy is a loose cannon. Alright, I take it that's the fact that you don't think he's Bernie Sanders left. Alright, so you don't, okay, so you don't like, alright. Well, I don't know. Because I thought maybe he's with Kennedy, you know. I thought, you know, the last Kennedy who was a leader, the last Kennedy, or not the, but you know, Jack Kennedy, he was pretty good. You know, Jack Kennedy, he was pretty good. I mean, nobody can take the fact away that what happened to him was a tragedy, I mean, worldwide, right? But Jack Kennedy, as far as I know, was pretty good, right? I mean, that's. If Bernie Sanders kissed Trump, that is where he is. Wait. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, is he such a bad guy? Because I've heard a lot of things about him. I've heard some things to say that he's alright. I mean, he's defended gay rights. He's defended some things that a lot of people didn't want. I don't know, I've heard. Is he bad, or is he? I've heard he's alright. I'm gonna point something out here. Do you guys remember the time that China was telling Japan, "You're polluting the ocean, you're polluting the air"? Northern China chokes under severe pollution. Oh, Japan, you're ruining the air. You're ruining. Look at yourself, idiot. Look, this is China. You can't see the sky. You can't see past the first building. You can see there's building back there, but can you make the outline of it? I can. It's not that good, though. Ooh, Japan, you're ruining the oceans. You're ruining the air. You're ruining the world. Really? Japan is the one ruining and polluting. Really? Really? Japan. Really? Maybe look around, okay? Because if you hadn't noticed, Beijing, if you go to Beijing, you couldn't see the sky. It's so polluted, and it's absolutely disgusting. They have an average age there of about close to 40. We'll point that out there. 40. Okay, you could be close to 80 in Denmark. We have great air. We have good space. In Japan, it's that one of the highest age, the average age of average old age of, you know, dying, blah blah. Average, you know, when you die in Japan, is one of the highest in the world. They have clean air. I mean, it might not be completely clean, but it's pretty clean. You know, I'm just saying. 3 Russians were arrested in New York for evading sanctions to ship electronic components for use in Russian missile tank and drone system in the war in Ukraine, local authorities announced today.
The Queen is dead. To hell with Canada! We are leaving!
Is that?
We'll go find some quiet place where we can be.
That's South Park, right? South Park, dude. It's. I remember. I've never watched South Park. I know it's a really funny show. I just never watch it. I know it's funny, but I don't know. It's like kind of one of those shows where you know it's funny, but it's like, yeah. Alright, guys. I'm going to take a break here, so I'm going to leave the stream up for you. But yeah, I'm just going to take a break real quick. I need to stand up and things like that. I'll be back in maybe like 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So enjoy the overview.
Rejs med midttrafik og få mere ud af turen.
Right, back now. A little bit here. Some fire happening outside there, just inside the Gaza border area. Probably some airstrikes. We saw that. Yeah. Israel troops and armored vehicles are storming the city of Jenin in the West Bank once again tonight. Oh, look at this. There are Israel troops storming the city of Yemen. This is in the West Bank in Palestine. A member of the Houthi terrorist organization has posted Elid referring to the southern Israel city where unknown hostiles contacts were intercepted roughly an hour ago. Yeah, and that's something I talked about that one as well. Egypt has agreed to permit around 400 foreigners and several Palestinians from Gaza to leave via its border. The agreement involves the United States, Israel, and Hamas, with the initial departure of a less than 100 Palestinians expected on Wednesday, and an anticipated increase in numbers over the coming days. 100. 100. There are millions. I mean, it's, yeah, I guess they're kind of trying to keep it low key, but I guess that's, you know, what ifs. What ifs. That's what ifs. The top U.S. officials make case for Ukrainian aid. Of course. Good stuff. Additional convoys of armored vehicles, Caterpillar D9 armored bulldozers, are now entering the city of Jenin after initial troops were stormed in the city, were fired upon by terrorists. Oh shit. Troops are entering Yemen. It appears that they have been fired upon within the city. It is windy in Ukraine today. A Russian sauna. Boom. Ooh, that hurt. That ammunition cook-off right there. That's gotta hurt. Oh. Hoorah. All right. Fucking Christ. The Rafah crossing opens tomorrow. Yeah. Okay, well, guys, I am gonna end the stream here. We've been live for what I wanted to, and well, I think we've summed up the situation pretty good. I think tomorrow we're gonna put together one of my usual sort of document where I put together so I can give you some more information and some better information. Right now we're just looking for treats. I'm trying to get it all, but you know, there's a lot coming in, so I think we'll do that. But situation right now is stable in Ukraine as Ukrainians continue to hammer the Russians. Russians are losing men at a rapid rate. However, it is a tense situation and a tough situation on the border of Ukraine and Russia right now. Same thing in Gaza, but it appears to me that the Israelis could reach the sea tonight. I'm not aware if that's true or not. They are meeting resistance, but I'm just saying it could be, you know. Alright, so, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. We will be back. If anything happens, of course, anything serious, we'll be back. Unless than that, you know. This movie was great. The Meat Grinder 2, yeah. Meat Grinder 2 coming out 2025. It's going to include starring Zelensky,